Righty, it's time. Good morning, good morning. A bit of a spike of volume here, right at 7 for this. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Okay, no immediate news on this. Yeah, there was news yesterday. Very strange how this kind of just traded in complete range for hours. Good morning, everybody. I do want to preface to say that we are seeing some slower movers today, so I am a little bit more cautious getting started here. Hope you like the new layout. Worked on it a little bit yesterday for around half an hour to an hour. I think this looks a lot cleaner. You can actually kind of see some more cohesion here, actually a little bit less clustered and all over the place. But I'll give you guys some time to adjust to it, and then I'll ask for everybody's thoughts later in the stream on it. Okay, so X is not really doing what I would want, so I'm going to move to SNTI. This one's also kind of moving here. It does have news at the top of the hour. Okay, we got 26 million on Thinkorswim for shares. Lightspeed, we got 4.8 million. So a little bit higher in share count. Just going to see how this acts here to start. I'm not going to really pull the trigger too quick. Good morning, Seek. Good morning, Benjamin. Good morning, John. And good morning, Flip Flop. VNCE is also moving. Bit lower volume here. Does have news though. Okay, so I definitely should keep this on watch just because it does have news. How are we looking for shares on this though? 12 million. 12 million. Okay, so 12 million on this one. Looks like around 8 or so million on SNTI. I'm going to pivot to SNTI just because the volume is a bit higher on this one. So we had low volume on the first 3 candles. Biggest 2, well, I guess just the biggest one had the highest volume. I'm a bit worried that this is just going to roll over. I'm just going to wait for now, see how this thing acts. We had a lot of gappers yesterday, but this morning, we don't really have anything. At least nothing that I can see. Right, biggest mover is up 26%. So this was a good bounce though. Right, going from 84 up to 18, 17. That is a good bounce. Volume's increasing as well. See how this plays out. I do also want to pivot just a moment to PBM. So this one is also moving. Volume's a bit light, but this one also has news. So we have 3 stocks with news. 2 of them light volume, 1 of them heavier volume. I'm going to keep an eye on all 3. Still going to watch SNTI though, because this one is the best volume profile. SNTI, you're short a little at 320. Good luck. I do like how even though this had high volume on the selling, the 2 follow-up candles were higher volume. That slightly invalidates this candle. Feels very choppy though, right? We've seen spike up, spike down, spike up, spike down. So this is very, very choppy. And it's ranging quite a bit too, right? This is like a 50-cent range. Decreased volume on this consolidation. We'll see how it acts here. Good morning, Amir Gaber. Good morning, sir. Or madam. More consolidation here. Maybe I could try a front side move with quarter size. I'm still a bit iffy because of how much this is ranging though. Clear support at around 3. Level 2 is a bit thick. I mean, it is a higher share stock. At least according to Thinkorswim it is. Worth mentioning that the other 2 stocks that were in play have both rolled over. PBM and VNCE have both completely rolled over. So right now this is the only one of the 3 holding up. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Elite. If you guys could do me a favor, if you haven't already, and hit the like button, help us get out to more people, I would appreciate it. Is looking like a slower day though, at least to start, so just gonna hang in tight here. Yeah, this is ranging, but we're still seeing very high volume, which is a bit odd. Usually on a range, you should see volume drop. This is still quite elevated. High volume on the selling too, so I don't want to touch this. Really hoping this doesn't roll over and I just miss out on the move, because if this rolls over, then we're 0-3 for stocks moving today. Which is really bad, because that's going to make people not want to jump on the next stock that moves. Out at 280 for a fast 40 cents. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, all three stocks rolled over. Like, I'll just jump to the other two to show them here. So, the NCE, this one has sold off pretty hard. And the other one, PBM, also pretty rough. Kind of returned back to the normal. Might be interested in this one, though, because this volume on this drop down has been pretty light. I'm going to read the catalyst on this here. So it's just sales, earnings. Turn this to half size. This has come up quite a bit on the daily. So at least on the daily chart, we are a little bit extended. $10,000 share buyer on the bid. Yeah, I'll keep it on watch. I don't think I want to touch it here, but if it goes lower, I would be interested. And yeah, this one, I just can't touch it. This is a huge red candle on high volume. Could reverse here, but it could also just flush harder. The one thing that is very strange to me, though, is, like I said, this range on this high of volume seems a bit odd. I'm like almost wondering if we would see a surge back up to highs and that this was actually a fake out before the next move. This consolidation with this volume profile makes me question that a little bit. Good morning, Telemann. Good morning, sir. But yeah, I don't trust this enough to do anything with it. I'm just going to watch it. I don't have high conviction in either direction. VNCE had a very nice bounce on it. Yeah, new setup. I mean, I like this one better, and later in the stream, I'm going to ask for people's opinions. The one from yesterday was more of just something I threw together really quick, because I knew I couldn't have the level 2 or the time and sales, and I also wanted to restructure how I'm showing my trades, so that was just kind of something I threw together. This one's a little bit more, I guess, organized, planned. Like, I actually kind of put more time and effort into this one. I'm wondering if my webcam's a little too small, right? If I look at my webcam. Yeah, because I'm a little bit tiny. Maybe if I was a little bit bigger, right? Like, I would have to change things, but maybe if I was like this big, that might be more appropriate. Something to think about. But, yeah, for now, I'm just going with this, see what you guys think of it. I think this is a lot cleaner. You can kind of follow it a lot better. But yeah, just watching this for now. The bigger cam looks better. I think so too. Yeah, when I was thinking about how I couldn't really get it to work, but if I'm being honest, I felt like the bigger webcam looks better. So I might reorganize some of this a little bit more. Especially like, because like, I mean, if I'm going to be showing my face, if I'm just a little tiny box in the corner, it's almost kind of like, why bother in some ways. Okay, just to touch on the other two stocks here. PPM is slightly curling. Volume's still pretty low, so I'm not really interested in this. BNCE has curled quite a lot. I did like this sell-off with this pressure, but the daily didn't look very good because we had been basically going straight up. So I chose not to touch this one. Looks like it recovered quite nicely, though. Yeah, and this is kind of showing strength, right? This churning on high volume, this sell-off into a recovery. Short again at 320. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if this was a fake out and this is going higher. Yeah, you're getting higher volume on the pump too. Yeah. I was wondering if it would do this, but I didn't have enough conviction to trade it. I am more interested now. Level 2 is very thin at the moment. Okay, now it's thicker again. For a very brief moment there, it was thinner. Okay, decent volume came through here. See if we can get a bit more of a pullback. See, my problem is just that the volume is like, the volume on this pullback is so high. I'm going to take a very small size here. See if this can curl back up. I might add if we can get a new 1 minute high. Okay, I'm adding there for the break. Yeah, so it had a very brief 1 minute high, and it's not really resolving well. This pullback was on lighter volume right here, which is why I was feeling confidence to add. Low volume on that breakdown. Okay, nice little breakout there. Can we go through 350 now? No, another fake out. Volume's a bit higher though on this break. Okay. It's pressuring 46. Okay, took half off there. It's taken too long to get through 50. Still holding half size. Okay, 50's tested. Broke by a penny. I'm gonna cut it. It took too long to resolve that. And then right after I sell pops. Okay, fair enough. Small winner. A lot of fake outs on it. Considering I had sold half just below the 350 level, maybe I should have held the other half. Just because, like, it was already going to be a roughly break-even trade at worst case. Your new average is 340. It's frustrating to sell early out of fear. All right, we'll go ahead and log this while I'm waiting. Honestly, an okay trade. It was a quarter size that turned into a half size. Because I was, you know, trading the front side and wanted to limit exposure. So considering this was only a half size trade. Alright, $6 isn't actually that bad. Give it a B. Yeah, it's a grinder, and whenever it hit 50, right, I sold half under the 50 level because I saw it was hesitating. Then when we broke 50, and we only broke it by 1 cent, and it was just by 1 cent for like 10 seconds, to me, I was afraid of a sudden rug pull and flush. I don't know, it's difficult. This was definitely not a clean break of 350. Right, grinding here for so long, and then this eventual break not immediately resolving. Made it a bit tricky, and I just didn't want to give it that exposure. I mean, had I held, I would have got, yeah, I mean, I would have got like an extra 25 cents on it. Difficult to judge. In this market too, where stocks seem to be struggling to move and we're not having big movers, with that context in mind, I don't think me being cautious is that crazy. Yeah, very, very small cushion on the day. We'll see if we can build it up a little bit. I did the right. I mean, I saw weakness, and it was already struggling to break 350. So when it breaks 350 by 1 cent and then struggles for 10 seconds, that's all right. That's a red flag. It is worth keeping in mind, though. Anytime you sell early and then it moves without you, just kind of make a mental note of it. Say, okay, one time today when you've done this, you sold too early. Right? And one data point doesn't mean anything, but 2 or more data points makes a line. That's kind of how I like to look at it. So keep being cautious because the market seems to be a little slow. But if I underestimate it again, then we can say, okay, you're forming a pattern here. You're selling too early. Yep, 1 minute till the half hour. Let's see if we get anything new coming out. Actually, I'm gonna adjust my size back to 50 while we wait for something new. Very high volume on all of this too. I think what actually may have hurt me here too, and I mentioned this before I got in the trade, was that this was a larger float, right? And I was saying how the level 2 was a bit thicker. So knowing that, maybe the break of 50, I should have anticipated a bit more that it wouldn't be as immediate. Could you add position size to your open positions window? No hotkeys? I do use hotkeys. I use a mix. So a mix of hotkeys and not. So position size, I actually just took it out. Mainly just so people can't see what my size is when I'm in the position. Again, it's just a protocol to stop me from copy trading. Something I'm going to be doing at the end of the streams too, just for like auditing reasons, is so I'll show it here since I'm not in the trade, but I have a window here you can see that I'll pop up at the end, and you can see my positions. So at the end of the stream, unless I forget, I'll show these, and anybody who wants to look through and see when I actually took the trades, like where I added, where I sold, you can do that. But at least for just kind of distancing myself so people can't copy trade, that's kind of a precaution I put in place. But yeah, up until today, I've actually been showing my position sizing in real time. Okay, SNTI is still kind of rolling away here. It's a bit extended. I'm a bit afraid to touch it, just in case it's the top. But it is continuing to move. It's funny. I was talking with ChatGPT about it too, and ChatGPT was saying just don't even show your open P&L, just show your closed P&L. But I feel like at that point, it's like, I mean, you're gonna know if I'm in a trade. Like, I feel like that's too much transparency. I'm not even telling you when I'm in a trade. At that point, it almost feels like it's detrimental. See, I'm okay with showing that I'm in a position with an open P&L. Just share size. I think that might be giving too much. But yeah, we'll see if we get anything at the top of the hour here. Or not top of the hour, half hour. Appreciate all of you along for the ride today. I know Flip Flop had a nice trade on SNTI. Anyone else trade it? Guess not. $11 on it? Nice. Good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's been a grinder, but it has mostly gone up. We did have this one fake out here, though. I guess the key thing would have just been that even though this was consolidating, the volume was still high. That may have been a signal that something was up. You got green earlier on XCur, VOR. So I'm done for the day. Done for the day. Wow, it's very early to be done, but fair enough. 0.4 cents on SNTI. I was scared. I was scared too, man. I mean, if we're being honest, that's why I bailed early. I was scared too. Yeah, the higher... I can't share the level 2, but level 2 is very thickly traded right now. It's a bit hard to even read the movements through level 2 in time and sale. I'd be basically going purely off of volume, which I could do. It just might not be as accurate. And at this point, it's so extended, I feel like anything buying here would be chasing. What is the pricing structure for Lightspeed? Is it suitable for a smaller cash account? Yes, sort of. So, Lightspeed, I think it's like a $130 a month. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's like a $130 a month or so platform fee. But if you trade and build up commissions, then all the commissions you build up offset the platform fee, right? So if you make $200 in commissions, then you pay no platform fee, which is very nice. You got some more at $3.95. Now your average is $3.58. 130 fee, correct? Okay, yeah. I wasn't like I said, don't quote me because I wasn't sure. And they do have two pay structures, so you could either do per share or per trade. I don't remember the per trade because I don't do that. Their per share structure is just to put it as a ballpark. If you trade with 100 shares both ways, you're paying about 0.35 cents per share or something like that. Yeah, and there is a minimum too, yeah. So they charge at least 25 cents per trade. So yeah, you could do a cash account, which is what I'm doing, but you just have to be aware that if you don't trade very much, then the fees will hurt a lot. Pardon my ignorance, how much can you make on commissions? What do you mean by make? Like, cause you don't make money on commissions, you lose, you're paying them. I'm not sure I understand. Other day, I traded a few 1 in 10 share on WHLR, and I was green $7. Next day, I found out I was negative 50 cents. Yes. Yeah, if you're trading with extremely small size, even with 25 share size, that's a bit small, then the commissions will start to hurt more. Yeah. You really want to try to avoid... Yeah, I see PB. I'll swap over to it. Yeah, you want to try avoiding churning shares as much as you can. Just because the commissions will eat. Yeah, you can get rebates on Lightspeed too, but like the rebates are by no means going to offset the commissions. Commissions are way, way higher than the rebates you get. And if I'm being honest, structuring around rebates isn't... I never found much success with it. I thought it was more beneficial to structure around the commissions than the rebates. Yeah, very high sudden volume on this out of nowhere after all of this weird movement. I'm looking at the daily. This one kind of has been beaten up. We're okay. At least daily-wise, we're actually a bit a ways from the lows. So there could be someone who accumulated here and is going to dump here. So I'm a little bit iffy about trying to buy this for a rug. But the purpose of using Lightspeed is the speed, so I wouldn't use limit orders there. I mean, if we're talking purely limit orders, everything's a limit order on Lightspeed. If you're trading pre-market, right? There's no stop orders, there's no market orders. If you're going to trade pre-market and you're concerned about speed of execution, it's not just about market orders. The limit orders themselves can be very useful too, right? You could do a limit order with slippage 5 cents above the bid or ask or whatever, and you can do it that way too. But technically speaking, every order I've ever put on here for this challenge has been a limit order. Just by the definition of that you can't do market or stop orders. Commissions are 0.0007. Yes, and that... Okay, so the 5 cent minimum is lower, but the 0.0007, I think that's higher? Or it might be lower. I might be getting a 0 wrong here. Yeah, I don't know how to trust this. This one feels very trappy, just because it kind of grinded higher with low volume, and now there's just randomly volume. I don't really know how to interpret that. Doesn't feel safe to me. But yeah, to not avoid your question, I just don't think I would need to look into that more to like make sure I'm correctly stating the rates and whatnot, because you get 1 0 placement wrong and it completely messes up your comparing numbers. So I will leave it at that. Lightspeed is 0.0035. Yeah, I was wondering if I was 1-0 off or not. I couldn't remember. No, if that's true, then that would mean that the rates would be lower on the other platform. 0.0035, yeah. When sharing under 250K shares transaction. I don't know what that means. Yeah, it would be 0.0037 round trip, right? So if you bought and sold 100 shares, you would be losing 0.7 cents per share for slippage. Or not slippage, but just like just kind of like commission burn. SNTI selling off here now, but the volume is still quite high. You break even if you make 11 cents on a trade. Yeah, I mean, if your size is small enough, then yeah, commissions will hurt. VNC also ended up, interestingly, rallying. So all three stocks, even though like the two of them ended up failing initially, they both ended up rallying back. Kind of weird how that works. Yeah, they all ended up rallying back, even though they were all light volume. Very strange. Yeah, so we've gone from 4 to 320s now. Oh yeah, you're saying for the rate change. Right. Once you hit so many shares traded, it gets reduced. Right. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were talking about there. Yeah, I get you. I follow what you're saying now. First time ever I was able to start trading at a brokerage this way. I went without paying $1 for each button press, like Trade Zero way back. Use Interactive Broker, and their commission structure really sucks. Well, not only that, but I would actually argue Interactive Broker is probably one of the worst brokers for execution speed. Yeah, their speed is really bad. And I've heard of a lot of people who have had issues. I don't know for sure, but like just from my experience, I have experienced having really slow order fills. Yeah, I didn't use them very long. SNTI is just getting brutalized. IBKR is the worst. Honestly, it feels like one of the worst. The only one worse than IBKR is probably Fidelity. Fidelity has god-awful execution. And also, maybe it's just me, but I felt like their platform was a bit clunky and slow. Like, things just didn't really update very fast. Open an account with them for paper trading. Thinkorswim paper trading sucks, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, but Thinkorswim, like, they have like a difference in execution speed. So I compared paper trading between both, or paper trading and live trading. And with paper trading, there's like a few seconds delay compared to live trading. With execution speed, I mean. What are your thoughts on Ross using his live trading room as exit liquidity? I have thoughts on that. We'll leave it at that. Trade execution at Ocean is like 10 milliseconds versus 400, 900 with most standard brokers, which you feel, yep, when you enter and exit, feels like you are in before you press the button sometimes. Do I have to pay for level 2 and stuff on Lightspeed, or is included in 130? No, it is not included. So yeah, if you're paying for level 2 data, then you're paying extra. I don't remember how much it is. It's not super expensive, but it's not super cheap either. IBKR paper trading is actually okay. I wouldn't know. I haven't used paper trading for Interactive Broker. Yeah, this is just continuing to keep selling off. PBM is pulling away a bit. VNCE, another pretty big pullback here. Right, this is pretty big range too, right? 370s all the way down to 320s. And really you had like 18,000 shares of volume up here, and then it just kind of swept, and now you're seeing the volume down here. IBKR only usable with DAS Trader. I could see that. Today is just so slow today. SNTI is still selling off. What a... I mean, on the 5-minute, it looks pretty disgusting. Like, it's just gone straight down. And the volume's been elevated, too. Very rough. VNCE, another push down. I'm getting interested just based off of how much this is ranged on the slow volume. We see this go to like maybe like high 290s. I'd be interested. Thing is, from Europe, IBKR is the only option you have. Right, because it's international. Yeah, if you're in Europe, your options are a lot more tied. Right, you don't really have access to like Lightspeed and stuff. Very nice inflow to this. Whoa, what the heck? Why is there 100,000 share buyer here? Okay, I'm interested in this. What is going on here? Okay. Is this spoofing? Okay, 100,000 share buyer is huge for this volume. See how price acts. Something's going to happen with this, right? Either there's spoofing going on with VNCE, or this is a real play that's going to happen. 100,000 shares of buying pressure. That would move this, like, astronomically. CMEG is not international. Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I know it's on the, what was it, Caribbean Islands or something? But yeah, I guess it still wouldn't be international. SNTI is still selling off. Very, very weird VNCA. I'm super interested because of that very large buyer, but I'm worried it could be spoofing. I see PBM is still moving. Sorry, I just this particular stock is interesting me. Good morning, Dang. Sorry for spending so much time on this stock. PBM is moving quite well, if anyone's interested in that. Gonna pivot off of this from now. Trading PBM and making a bit of money after a big loss yesterday. I mean, biggest thing is you follow your rules. It's not about if you make money today or not. You need to not be overextending yourself. That's the biggest rule. Can it be short covering? Could be. I mean, whatever it was, I mean, it was earnings. So, right, three possibilities to me. Short covering, someone large trying to take a position because the earnings were good, or spoofing. If it's spoofing, it's going to get rugged hard. Yeah, this is still kind of an older catalyst too, which is interesting. Friday was a great day, big green. Yesterday gave back everything. Lost 600. Yeah, I saw Ross lost a ton yesterday too. It was kind of shocking to me because I was like thinking, oh, I've had my best day in like a month. And then I went to check out Ross and see how he did and saw he had a max loss day and just really wasn't expecting that. Yeah, so we're having volume pick up quite a lot now. Very, very high volume here too. Wondering if this is the top or not. VNCE, I feel like there's someone pumping this up. Right? There was 100,000 share buyer at around 330 on VNCE. Don't see the order anymore. Or no, it was a 325. I've actually barely heard of Ocean One. Is it like newer? Because I really haven't heard it. Yeah. 12,000 share buyer here. Aaron, I understand your sentiment, but we got to be careful with how we're talking like that. I can understand why you think that, and I understand there's some arguments for it, but I don't really like to push that kind of talk without very clear, hard evidence. You could maybe suggest that he could be doing that, but I wouldn't really go so far as to say that he is doing that, if you understand what I'm saying. Well, no, saying someone live streams isn't transparent. I've actually had to dial back the transparency quite a bit. I used to show my orders in real time. There was like a 15-30 second delay, but you could see my orders being placed. You could see my active position, my share size. Yeah, there's definitely ways to be more transparent than what Ross is doing. I know. I think Ross has a lot going for him that he does well. Okay, we're at 8 a.m. here. I'm still very interested in how this stock is playing. There's definitely bigger games going on here, right? Like 100,000 plus share orders. Considering how light this float is. I'm not seeing as big of buyers. I saw a couple 20,000 share orders. One of them got filled. But yeah, we're top of the hour. I'll see if we see anything else to trade here. PBM had a pretty nasty flush. Yeah, this one pulled back pretty hard. Yeah, I just didn't really want to touch it up here. It felt like we were getting extended. Covered all on PBM for $2 for a 20-cent win. Feel that might go back to the top. Well, this one's also just moving a lot more choppy. It's not really giving clean moves. LNAI had news at the 45 mark. All right, we can see that pop here. Keep this one on watch. Definitely has the potential. ENSC. Okay, this does have news. Very low float. It's a little bit beaten up here. $2 is a critical resistance on the daily. We can see it kind of broke through and rejected hard from that. Yeah, so we have some headwinds. ENVB also moving. Good call on that one. I don't actually see that one on my scanners. I'll jump over to that one real quick. Okay, much higher price. Okay, this seems like good news. Daily chart looks good. Unfortunately, though, this profile looks a bit messy, right? Two biggest volume candles, all on red volume. This one definitely looks better than the other one, though. So good call out on that. Yeah, this one has much more potential to move. The news isn't even bad either. A lot of pressure around this 620s level. Lower red on the pullback. I see it looks like it might be holding around that 164 level on EST. Any thought on X-Cur? Remind me, I will look at it in a moment. Want to watch these two other stocks for now. Yeah, this pullback's on lighter volume. We got the 1 minute high. Let's see if we have it break down temporarily. I'd be wanting to get in that. This has quite a lot of range to it. Yeah, good call out on ENSC as well for that curl. It looks like it held around that 160s level pretty well. Okay, so somewhat high volume here on this failed 1 minute high. Okay, in there for very small size to start. This breakdown was on lower volume. I'm mostly just seeing if we can recapture here. Yeah, still low volume. I'm wondering if this is going to hold or floor. Okay, I went ahead and added there, so I averaged up a little bit. See if we break out or if we just roll over. And the critical area to watch is this 680 level. If we get back to it. A lot of pressure here. Getting worried about this getting rugged. But the way this approached also looked pretty good. Like, this flush was only on 8,000 shares. It's low, low volume. $0.10 on ENVB. Had to fight the spread. Yeah, spread's a bit bigger, too. MBRX is also moving now. Can't really touch it at the moment because I gotta watch this one. But it's rocketing pretty hard. Yeah, low float, so it makes sense why it's moving so much. Very nice. Yeah, it just kind of popped and rolled all the way back over. I'm surprised that something with this low of a float would roll over like this and then just break down on low volume and not reclaim. I'm wondering if it'll be like a slow reclaim or something. $1 billion volume. Ooh, yeah, TLG got hit really hard. What was that, a secondary offering or something? Yeah, secondary offering. Yeah. RIP TWG. Now my question is, do I want to add to this or not? Because this still looks good. Oh wow, I didn't even realize PAVS was only 4 cents. Okay, that's why the volume was so high. Got it. All right, so we're actually having this breakdown. I actually am more interested in this now. Yeah, still seeing very low volume. BRX looks like it is fully rolled over. Yeah, so this one didn't really hold very well. I mean, this also looks good for bounce play. I'm not going to touch it because, again, I need to focus on the one I'm in. It's insane how quickly that rolled over. Like, look at this. Absolutely decimated. Am I the only one that feels like just not a lot of stocks are moving today? Like it really just feels like there's just nothing to really look at. The ones that are moving are just dying. Yeah, you took your cover thinking you got a nice $1 hit, and then it just dies. It's just one of those days. Yeah, we had a really good day yesterday, and it just feels like it's completely dried up here. It's gonna take a while to get October or September or August again. Yeah, I mean, August is really good. We were just having back-to-back 100% gain days. Yeah, slow day. I might be interested in adding to this, honestly. ATMV, I see what you mean. It is pulling away a bit. Yeah, good volume on it. I mean, we would be going off of the continuation from this. We're just kind of popped and then sold off. Right. We're right at this resistance here, so if this breaks, you could see it run. Can't touch it. Yeah. IBIO. That one was moving yesterday, if I remember. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's breaking out. The rocket emoji may not be appropriate for that kind of move. Hmm. Okay, made to trade. Made to trade. Can you do me a favor and say 1, 2, 3 in chat for me? Can you do that for me? Just say 1, 2, 3. All right. That was probably a bot. No, I was talking about the other guy. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't talking about all you guys. I was just talking about that guy. Oh no, you're all spamming 1, 2, 3 now. Oh god. No, he was just saying random crap. Wasn't making sense. Guess I should join in, huh? Well, no, he was talking in the chat, and I was just like, hey, can you say 1, 2, 3 for me? And he just kept spouting on about random crap, so that's how I know he was a bot. Yeah, I might need to cut this one, like... If it was grinding slowly up, I would be okay holding, but we're just kind of churning here at this level. Yeah, the rocket guy. Well, I mean, he was talking about IBIO. And he's like, IBIO, rocket emoji, and this is like what he's looking at. Like, it's not really... This isn't really anything crazy. No, no. Nope. I'll hold this a little bit longer since we're holding in this area. I'm really surprised how much it ended up rolling over, though. Even up here, we had a bounce off of this to where we literally had 663 on the bid. So I was pretty confident this one was going to work. So I'm really surprised that it ended up not. ATMV might be curling here. Or not. Or not. Okay. Yeah, I'm just not really getting a good read today. Maybe there's just nothing to read. Yeah, we're about to hit the half hour here. Been holding this trade for about 24 minutes now. Well, we'll see if anything comes out at the half hour here. MAMO. I mean, I'll take a look at it if it has news at least. Yeah, it's not moving much right now. You are right that it has news. Yeah. The thing is with stocks like this too, if you have low volume and it's not continuing down, I've seen it so many times where you'll actually see it slowly creep back up. So I'm waiting to see if we start to see that creep back up. Yeah, it is completely dried up. But again, I've seen it many times where it curls. I'll give it a little longer. But I'm not super worried on the flip side because this thing doesn't seem to have much more downward pressure at the moment. Also, the spread is very high. 30-cent spread on it. Fortunately, I'm not in with big size, so even the realized loss shouldn't be that bad. For now. STAA 24 to 33 merger agreement. Yeah, just kind of flushing back. This volume was kind of low. Yeah, it feels like we kind of just shifted back. We've had some stocks popping out, like even this is a pretty big spike, but it's just they're just immediately reversing back. Also, this is a much higher float stock, so I'm kind of surprised. I mean, maybe this is a reverse split or something, but that actually would make sense with the higher float too. Yeah. We've seen a lot of these where they're just kind of popping and then immediately rolling over. By the way, even on this breakdown, this volume isn't terrible. I'm just afraid to touch it right now with how many stocks have been rolling over. OCG also moving. Yep, good call out on that. Oh my god, dude. Everything's just dying. Like, oh man. No news on this one either. So just a random pop into a drop. Yeah. Well, they tighten it based on how much volatility there is, right? If there's just insane volume, then they might not tighten it right away. Happy to stay small green today. Did not get your daily goal. This market is so scary right now. Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting down, unrealized, I'm sitting down 30. Right? If I have to exit on the bid, then it's going to probably be closer to $40 red. It's so big the locates are flip free. I believe it. OCG kind of curling. Still afraid to touch it again, just because there's no news on this one. Volume's also still relatively light. Seeing you make similar mistakes makes me feel a bit better. Well, I appreciate you finding joy in my suffering. No, it seems like a lot of stocks just rolled over today, and of those stocks that are rolling over, we're not really seeing bounces from them. So you don't really have any good opportunity on the front or the back, really, right? No continuation, no bounce, just roll over and die. Sure. I guess, like, what was it? MBRX. Let's see if this one's still doing bad. Like, even this one, right? You just kind of rolled over. You kind of had like a small bounce here, but you'd have to get the timing very well to have captured this. All right, this is kind of nasty to look at. And we've seen a lot of stocks like this today. ENVB continuing lower. Let's see. All right, we got a $5 support on the daily. I still have conviction in this, believe it or not. Might just be a longer hold, but I'm willing to give it more. There doesn't seem to be a lot of other opportunities at the moment. Xcur, I can take a look at it. I know you mentioned that earlier. Yeah, so we have some movement. Just want to go to the 5-minute here. Yeah, this was the one we saw this morning, right? We kind of had this spike. Very strange consolidation into another continuation. Right, but like from 7 a.m. we had that spike and it just kind of went off. I mean, I was kind of surprised because the float doesn't seem that high. Only stock to make a good move was VOR. I mean, yeah, this one made a pretty good move and held. But yeah, a lot of stocks just not really resolving well at all. I gotta decide what I'm gonna do with this, because I still like it. Because, at least for my strategy, nothing has been invalidated yet. We've been creeping lower on essentially zero volume, which is good. That's still good for my strategy. The catalyst is neutral to maybe slightly bullish, and support on the daily is still good. Like, I would actually want to add here, if anything, but the problem is it's just moving so slow, right? Even on the daily, this is a great spot. It still looks good. I mean, there could be buyers at the open, absolutely. It's just, I don't know, it's hard to put into words, but like, you should only hold something for so long. Like, even if something is just totally in your favor, how long do you hold it as it goes against you? Right? That's the question. Even if something looks golden. And to be fair, too, like, there could be something that I just don't know about this stock that would justify why it would do this. Like, nothing to me justifies it doing this. So that's partially why I'm so strongly convicted in it. Like, if we saw this break down to, like, 530s, I would actually probably add as long as the volume's light. Well, no, there's definitely still people interested because the price is moving, right? Just because there's no volume doesn't mean people aren't interested. Keep in mind, too, this is a very low float stock. So it can be easier to move the price around. I totally get the no volume argument, but the price movement not matching the volume, which isn't there, is what's weird to me. Holding and hoping, yes, to some extent. And that's kind of what I was saying, but it's interesting whenever there isn't a red flag to get out. Because I'm just not seeing anything else really worth looking at. OCG ended up selling off. Not surprising, this one didn't have news. We got 15 minutes till the top of the hour. This might just be like moderate red day with a bust. Just nothing really in play. Suppose I can throw this poll out while we're waiting. WPE, that one moved yesterday, right? Yeah, like right now on my trade, I'm sitting down about $28 unrealized. So like it's not even that bad of a hit at the moment. I mean, WVE, very interesting. Like if you actually look at 5 minute, how we just kind of had this spike up and it's kind of holding up around here. So interestingly, they announced a 250 million public offering. Surprised this thing's holding up despite an offering. Bigger cam? Yeah. So it seems like you guys like this one a bit more. I like it more too. It's just, like you said, I think I need to change it a little bit more, make the webcam a bit bigger. Because it doesn't feel very impactful. PITX was too short. What happened with it? PTIX. Oh, wow. You weren't kidding. Yeah, it just feels like everything that pops is just immediately rolling over today. It might just be one of those days where we're not getting much opportunity. Actually kind of crazy just how quickly just everything is resolved poorly. Right? Yesterday was looking so promising. We had so many movers that were like 50%, 100% movers. And today, it just feels like 80% of everything that popped just rolled over immediately. Just curious, how's SMX doing? Is it still squeeze mode or is it done? Yeah, it's kind of done. Looks like it's, yeah, pulled out quite a lot today. Yeah, we could be looking at the backside. But yeah, I appreciate you guys' feedback for the layout. Going forward, like I said, I'll change the webcam size, make it a bit bigger. I might have to move some more stuff around. And yeah, we'll see if I can make it look better tomorrow. I'll probably do it after the recap, just so I can get something done and keep it simple. I feel like I've just been kind of sitting around the whole day. Regardless of how this trade, though, on ENVB plays out, I'm definitely going to do a more thorough review of this trade. Right? The fact they haven't announced an offering is insane. Or no, they did. No, they did. So they announced something during the first squeeze it did. And it was more of a private placement kind of thing. So they technically did, but we don't know the details, and it appears to have not been impactful enough. Yeah, I don't even know what to watch right now. Like, this one looks interesting, but the floats are just way too high on it. It's over 100 million. Good morning, Football Master. Miss me down, like, currently down unrealized $21. ENVB currently back a little bit. It's just been a very slow day today. Honestly, it feels like you didn't miss much. A lot of stocks that are moving today kind of just rolled over. This one, it's a bit cheap. What's the float? Float's a bit low. Yeah, it has a lower float. All right, 5 minutes to the top of the hour here. It's just a really slow day today. Yeah, I saw Trox, but again, the float's just too high on it. It's over 100 million shares outstanding. You can kind of even see, like, from 4 to, what is this, 470? 70-cent move, but it took like 2-3 hours to do it. The NCPL maybe. I mean, the float's lower, but price is also a bit low for my tastes. It's going to be the same protocol as normal. Once 9 o'clock hits, stay around for 5 minutes, see if we get any new stocks in play. Otherwise, I'm going to bounce. I'm a bit iffy too, just because since everything's been rolling over, even if we do get something, I'm a bit worried that it's just not gonna hold up. I feel like the only thing that would really make it in play is very high volume. Right, because we've seen some stocks where we're getting like 100,000 volume, then they're just rolling over. That might be the only thing that really would give me that conviction. What's the crucial difference between float and shares outstanding in terms of dilution and price impact? Well, never mind the dilution and price impact. Just look at it just purely from a numbers perspective. Shares outstanding is the total number of shares for the stock, right? So if a stock has 10 million shares, it has 10 million shares. But the float is just what is tradable. So if a stock has 10 million shares outstanding, but only 5 million shares float, then only those 5 million can impact the price. So when possible, you should look at float, because that is a more real number in terms of like what to expect for how the scarcity would impact the price movement. You're done for the day. Good luck, all. I don't blame you. All right, so we're top of the hour. We'll see if we get any stocks here. And if we don't get anything in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to bounce. INDP had a spike, but no news. I mean, you're not wrong, but yeah, no news on it. Yeah. I see what you mean with the big sale orders too. Yeah, I just don't like NCPL. It's a bit too low of a price for me. You're calling it. Have a good one. You as well, Benjamin. I mean, I might be calling it soon here as well. I'm not seeing anything yet. Give it another 3 minutes. But yeah, you have a good one, man. I do have an order to try and get out of ENVB. Let's see if the price moves to me or not. Probably just going to try and close it soon here. Don't really want to cross the spread, but if I have to, I have to. It just really hasn't recovered at all. Right? We just kind of went straight down, no bounces at all, and then we just flatline. And that's how it is. Curious, what did I do for work prior to full-time trading? So I did a couple jobs. Right, warehouse work, security work. I was a supervisor at an Amazon building. But yeah, just a bunch of like factory related work. Factory warehouse. Those kind of genres. All right, I'm not seeing anything else here, so I'm probably going to wrap it up here. Yeah, very slow day today. Very unfortunate. Barely any trades. I'll go ahead. I'm still holding that ENVB position. We'll see if I can't get out for something better, but I won't keep you guys here. You guys have a good rest of your morning, and I will be back for the recap and later today. Take care.